Hello and welcome to Piano with Georgia. I'm Georgia, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about memorizing music. One of my subscribers asked for some advice on memorizing, so here it is. Thank you so much for the comment and the idea. Now, hop on your bench and let's get started. Memorizing music is becoming more and more of a hot topic, even amongst classical musicians who are quite known for memorizing very complex and detailed music. The main question asked is often, why? Having your music memorized can help you play faster, avoid the challenges of turning pages, allow your eyes to be free to accurately aim for big jumps, and finally, to be able to play something anytime, anywhere you want, whether you have your music or not. I think of memorization in two different categories. First, we have partial memorization, where you are basically memorizing part of your piece. Maybe there is only one tricky page turn. You just want to memorize a few measures until you reach a moment where one hand can be free to turn that page. Maybe there are a couple of larger jumps where you need your eyes for that moment on your hands. Maybe there's a particularly gnarly section where having the deeper knowledge of the music memorized will enable you to go faster. In any of these cases, you don't really need to memorize the whole piece of music, just bits and pieces. The most important thing to remember about this type of memorizing is to make a plan ahead of time. Write in your music when to look down and draw a star or special attention-getting symbol so your eyes know where to go when you look back up. It is very easy for your eyes to look away from the music and then struggle to find the right spot when your eyes go back. Making a plan circumvents this problem completely. Second, we have memorizing an entire piece of music. This will give you that anytime, anywhere piece of music. It is a great feeling to have something to play when you encounter a piano somewhere away from your home instrument. The skills needed for both of these purposes are pretty much the same, with a couple of small differences. So let's break down how to memorize something securely. There are several types of memory, all of which we want to tap into, whether you're memorizing 2 measures or whether you're memorizing 150. By far, the most famous type of memory is muscle memory. That's when we play a piece so many times that our fingers feel like they can play the piece without us even thinking about it. This type of memory is incredibly important. However, if you've ever played a piece perfectly at home, only to go out and perform it and have your hands forget what they are doing, well, that's muscle memory. Powerful, but horribly forgetful when an interruption or distraction happens. Another type of memory is intellectual. This would be knowing all the sections of your piece, analysis like chords or specific notes in certain places. This type of memory is also very powerful, but if you are trying to think through every detail while you are performing, chances are you will not be able to go very fast. Visualization is another memorization skill. This would include both being able to imagine your music and, more importantly, imagine what your hands look like on the piano without actually being at the piano or playing anything. Auditory. Your knowledge of what sounds you are playing and what sounds are coming next is also a crucial part of not only playing musically by memory, but also anticipating the upcoming notes. We want to work on all of these types of memorization so that when one fails, another can catch us and save the day. How to practice each of these types of memory is our next step. Muscle memory is going to be the most familiar to you. The more you play your piece, the more ingrained muscle memory becomes. I've noticed that some people seem to have complete muscle memory after just a couple of repetitions, while other people it takes more repetitions and more time. Don't be discouraged. If this type of memory is difficult for you, there will be another type that will come more easily. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. Just like when you are first learning a piece of music, work on smaller sections of the song so you can get in more repetitions on a specific part in a shorter period of time. If you are working on 4 measures and you feel like it's not getting easier, make it smaller. You can go all the way down to 1 or 2 beats if necessary. Play this small fragment over and over until you don't need to look at the music. Try another fragment, then start putting your fragments into bigger chunks. The larger the segment, the more challenging it will be for your memory. Once you are playing a section of 4 to 8 measures successfully by memory, now time to challenge the muscles in a new way. Play only your right hand by memory, then play only your left hand by memory. This is much harder because your muscles are used to how they coordinate together. When you can do both hands together and separately by memory, your muscles are going to be a more powerful ally. Another challenge for muscle memory is to air piano one hand while you actually play the other hand. This was called by one of my teachers shadowing. I find shadowing to be a bit easier than completely playing one hand alone. Even though I don't hear the sounds, my body recognizes the movements, so it's a nice stepping stone. Now, let's work on some intellectual tactics. Write down some sort of map of your piece. This can be anything that is meaningful to you. It's basically an extremely simplified version of your piece on a blank piece of paper. I include what key my piece starts in, sections of the piece, specific chords that start or end sections, the first notes of the song, the final notes of the song. You could play the piece from memory, but have this little cheat sheet as an assistant for a while. Plan some safety net starting spots throughout the piece. Practice starting your piece from numerous spots until starting at one of these spots is just as comfortable as starting from the beginning. Next, practice intentionally jumping to these spots when you're doing a playthrough of your piece. You want to jump with as little interruption to the rhythm as possible. You don't pause, you jump ahead. I find if I jump back, I have to face the same passage again, and I'm in a state of internal panic, making it almost impossible to recall the notes. The hope is that you won't need your safety net spots, but simply being prepared for the unknown will give you more confidence and actually make it less likely that you have a problem. Visualization is pretty much exactly what I mentioned before. You can be at the piano, but you can also be away from the piano. Close your eyes and try to see a visual image of your hands on the piano. Go slowly and attempt to feel in your imagination as if you are actually playing. It can sometimes be easier to sit at the piano with your eyes open, looking at the keyboard. Again, imagine your hands playing the piece all without actually moving a muscle. As with the other tactics, do this in small sections at first, and then gradually make your sections larger and see if you can still visualize them. If you find out that you cannot do this at first, don't give up. Make your sections smaller. Go slower. Play your section for real, watching your hands, and then try by memory again. Auditory memorization. Your knowledge of the sounds of the piece, the audio playback in your memory is another very helpful tactic. Can you hear the piece in your imagination? If you cannot, play a small section, then stop and try to repeat the sounds in your imagination. Can you hear just the left hand? Just the right hand? Can you hear your dynamics? Can you hear the melody? As you continue to imagine the sounds, you will become more and more refined on exactly what sounds you want. This will not only make your memory more secure, but also make your piece more expressive. As you attempt each of these tactics, you will discover where the weaker spots in your memorization are. Discovering these spots before you ever attempt to play by memory in front of someone else is very nice. I certainly did not invent these tactics. They've been passed down to me by my teachers, so I am now passing them down to you. The hardest part of memorizing is the patience it takes to gain truly secure memorization. Keep sections small and/or keep sections slow. Please let me know how these strategies work for you in the comments, and I hope that soon you will have your own anytime, anywhere piece held in your mind, or that pesky page turns and passages become easier. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon.